morning. Welcome. We're so glad you're here today. So we want to get you involved in this song. It's what they call, it's an oldie but a goodie, right? So you'll recognize it, and we'd love for you to stand with us and sing along. And it will definitely wake you up if you are sleepy. Feel free to dance along, too. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, yeah. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. This is different. Shine, shine, everybody now. Shine, shine, you know you want to. Shine, shine, all around the world. Shine, shine, everywhere I go. I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, yeah, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Gonna let it shine, shine. Everybody now, shine, shine. You know you want to. Shine, shine, all around the world. Shine, shine. Now repeat after me. When there's light in the soul,
Light in the soul,
there is beauty in the person.
there is beauty in the person.
When there's beauty in the person,
When there's beauty in the person,
there is harmony in the home.
there is harmony in the home.
When there's harmony in the home,
When there's harmony in the home,
there is beauty in the nation.
there is honor in the nation.
When there's honor in the nation,
There's honor in the nation.
there is peace in the world. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear. Yeah. We're gonna let it shine. No more living in fear. We're gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Gonna let it shine, shine. Everybody now. Shine, shine. You know you want to. Shine, shine. All around the world. Shine, shine.
My brothers and sisters,
Shine, shine, everybody sing. Shine, shine, you know you want to. Shine, shine, all around the world. Shine, shine. Yeah. Woo. That was good.
thank you.
All right, so we got the energy up. That's good. That's a good thing. All right, now I can see you. Now I know what's going on. All right, looking pretty good, looking pretty good. We could fill in a little bit over here if we wanted to. We could do a little Red Rover in the middle aisle. We could see, get some people over there. How are we all doing this morning? Did we turn and greet each other yet? Well, what are we doing? Let's turn and greet each other. Stand up, act like you care. Get a hand, get a name, say hello. Good morning. Good to see you. All right, let's not get carried away. Starting to exchange recipes and all sorts of stuff. Well, I want to welcome anyone who's watching us via live stream. You are here in this place with us, even though you're here digitally. We still feel your spirit. We still know you're welcome. You still know you're a part of this home. Anyone here who's a native Spanish speaker who's listening to us via the translation, we welcome you. We're glad you're here. Be a part of this family. What else do we have? I do have some announcements. First, let's remember to turn off and silence our cell phones. If you want to check into Unity of Boulder on Facebook before you do that, or share the live stream, you're welcome to do that. Also, what do we have going on? This evening from 7 to 9 p.m. we have the drum circle. So if you're interested in drumming, or you've thought about drumming, you've never tried it, you can drop in tonight. That is a drop-in experience. You don't have to have been before. You don't have to even ever have touched a drum before. You can just show up at 7 and they'll kick things off. I believe that's over here in the fellowship hall, and that's a really good, powerful time. Today at 1:30 we have a workshop with Ed Shapiro. You're going to find out a lot more about what he has to say and what that'll be about, because he's our guest speaker today. I'll introduce him later, but that's a workshop at 1:30 here at Unity. It'll be in the fellowship hall area, so you'll have time to go get lunch and then come back and be a part of that experience. He's also going to have books and CDs available for sale in the lobby as you exit on the right. So if you want to pick up one of those, you can do that. The Q Process class is coming February 23rd. That is a Saturday. It's going to start at 8:45 in the morning. It's going to go most of the day. And that is a deep process I've done. Most of the Unity movement is doing it at their churches and centers. We're trying to get as many people to take this class as possible to just sort of do a mass elevation of our spiritual awareness. And it focuses primarily on the shadow work, working on that stuff that's sort of you're carrying with you, but you don't know is there, or you don't know how to address, that's affecting your choices and your responses and your decisions. So those are things you definitely want to dive into and work on, and it does a really incredible process of that and leaves you with tools to do that for months and years to come. So that's going to be happening February 23rd. That's also available for SEE credit. So if you're trying to get credit towards becoming a licensed Unity teacher or a minister or anything of that nature, that will also apply for credit for that. So you can sign up for that in the bookstore. And the exciting thing about that class is we have Jane Simmons coming here to teach that class. And she is the co-creator of that class with her husband. So they're both Unity ministers. Normally you get a student of theirs teaching that class. We're actually flying her out to teach that class. And then she'll also be doing the Sunday talk after that. So it's going to be a powerful weekend. We also have Daniel Namad coming the Friday before that. So that weekend's going to be crazy awesome. You're going to be here a part of that. He's also a well-known musician. All right. I think it's time to pray. I can just tell we need to pray. I just feel this energy like we got to settle down. We got to get ready for something to happen. So let's all just take a nice breath and just let it out. Just feel yourself sinking into the seat. Feel those shoulders dropping. Allow those eyes to close if you're comfortable. You have arrived. Whatever you had to do to get here this morning is done, and you are now here. You get to leave it all behind. Any worries, any concerns, you get to leave it at the door, because this is your time to connect with yourself, to connect with others, to connect with God. This is me time, not the selfish sort of me time that we are taught in the world, but the deeper type of me time, where we drop down and we say, who's in there? What's going on? Let's heal. Let's grow. Let's expand and become something greater today. That's what we're here to do, and we're so blessed to be in a space where we can come together as like-minded individuals and do just that as a family, as a community, as friends. So we're grateful to be here in this moment, to be a part of this experience, and to be ready to grow. And so it is. Amen.
So I ask that we stay in a spirit of prayer, and that we invite Spirit into the room. And
if you would sing along with us. You're lifting up the God in you. You're lifting up the God in other people. So we ask that you do that today. If you feel so led, you can stand and sing with us, but do as you wish.
Spirit of the living God, Spirit of the living God, we want to hear your voice. We're hanging on every word. Spirit of the living God, Spirit of the living God, we want to know you more and more. We're hanging on every word. Come and speak to us. Spirit of the living God, Spirit of the living God, we only want to hear your voice. We're hanging on every word. Spirit of the living God, Spirit of the living God, we want to know you more and more. We're hanging on every word. 'Cause when you speak and when you move, when you do what only you can do, it changes us, it changes what we see, what we seek. When you come in the room, when you do what only you can do, it changes us, it changes what we see and what we see.
Before I introduce our guest speaker, I just want to ask, is anyone visiting us from another Unity church somewhere else in the country or the world? That does happen. You are. What church are you from? Pensacola, Florida. There's a lot of Unities down in that Florida area. A lot of strong Unity energy. Yes. I will. I will. Anyone else have some suggestions for me while we're at it? Did I shave okay today? Am I dressed all right? How about anybody visiting us from the first time? Is there anybody visiting us for the first time that's willing to admit it? I know we're sometimes terrified to do that. Right here, visiting us first time, you keep your hand up. Our ushers have a gift for you. We should be able to get that to you. And obviously, over here, if you keep your hand up as well, our ushers would love to bring you a gift. All right. Well, we do have a guest speaker today. His name is Ed Shapiro, and he has been a family friend since the Groverlands came to Boulder. So that's just over 40 years. He's been a family friend of ours. So almost longer than I've been alive. I think I was about 1 year old when we came to Boulder. So that's an awesome thing. And I know, I was good back then. Well, I was one. There's not a whole lot I could do. I know. Well, anyway. So his topic, I actually spoke with him on the phone this week, and he mentioned what his topic was, and I just loved hearing that because it's something that I feel is really boiling to the surface in humanity right now, especially in the spiritual circles. This concept that sometimes we try to skip ahead in line, or we try to move ahead in the spiritual process before we've really put those building blocks in place that help us in spiritual growth. Some of those more fundamental things like not being a jerk. Sometimes we skip the simple things like not being a jerk, and we think we're all high and holy and everything else, but we're still acting like a jerk. So some of those fundamental things, and one of those is stress. Has anyone ever experienced stress? Come on, get your hand up there. If your hand's not up, I'm calling you out later, and we're going to have a conversation. Stress. So a lot of us, especially in this society, we are still dealing with stress all the time. And we're going into meditation stressed, we're going into our workplace stressed, we're going into yoga stressed, we're carrying our stress everywhere with us. We haven't dealt with our stress. And yet we're trying to do these higher levels of spiritual activity, but still carrying this very basic fundamental issue along with us. So this is a man who's a master of dealing with those very things. I'm not going to babble much more except...
My whole talk.
No, I am. You're going to have to come up here and just drag me off because I'm going to do the whole thing. I actually read his notes before I came up here, so I could. So Ed, come on up. And he did request, since he's known us for so long, that we call him Eddie Groverland. So welcome, Eddie Groverland.
Jack has competition. Although Jack's amazing. I mean, it's so important. I mean, I know you're here and hopefully you do belong. But it's very, very important nowadays because we've progressed so far. Going to the moon, they just found something on the other side of the moon that you can live, and you can't even live here, but we can live there. I mean, we can gotta get along a little better than that. And that's what's happening. We're entering a place where we're growing up, we're maturing, but we don't know the groundwork. You know, it's like there's only one main illness in the world: stress. The only way to deal with stress is to relax. So let's just begin for a moment, just a short moment, a very short relaxation. Let's just, pardon me wearing the hat, but my glasses and all those, I never wanted to be a star. I just wanted to be ordinary. It's very funny. It's sort of like, I have to break it in because it's very funny, and I'm not name dropping, so if you think I am, then I probably am. But I was interviewing Jane Fonda. My wife and I were interviewing Jane Fonda on our radio show. And you know, when you're on a radio show, you're not going to come up with questions. You got to just be real out there. You got to say something. So I said, Jane, I can't handle when one person hates me. How do you deal with it? And I got scared a little bit. You know, I'm a Swami, you're not supposed to get scared. But I didn't believe what I said, because sometimes things come out, as people know. And so she said, if you love yourself, it doesn't matter what people think. So I figured this is an interesting point of view. And in order to be in that place, in order to understand where stress and we need to relax, it's just as Shad was mentioning and got from me, is that if you do relax, if you meditate, and you want to kill your mother-in-law, you're not going to meditate too good, are you? And if you're mindful and you bang your head against a wall, you're not being very mindful. What I'm getting to is you got to relax. Just each day. And my dream, I'll start here. My personal dream is just for a moment, everybody in the room, just breathe into your belly. And out through your nose. Breathe in through your nose and out into the belly area. And that is the proper breath. And if you notice, like the other day, here I am, a teacher, I teach all this stuff, and all of a sudden I'm feeling paranoid. And it's like, why should I feel paranoid? And I noticed I was breathing here. And sometimes you ever feel where you say to yourself, oh my God, I'm not breathing. You're actually not breathing for that second, whatever it is. That causes tension. As soon as you recognize in that area, bring it down. Throughout the day, breathe. Your breath is your best friend, always there for you. The mind needs something to grasp, so it'll grasp anything. And so if it's a thought, because it was funny, it was quite a few months ago, but I suddenly noticed that I had two people in my head having an argument. And it was like, what the hell are you doing here? It was like, it was like, wow. And I realized the mind does its thing. The mind is a perfect servant, but a terrible master. You see what thoughts come. Thoughts are like birds in the sky of your mind, they fly away. But sometimes we get a thought, and then we become the thought. Oh, I'm paranoid, what's going to happen? I'm going to lose my job, I might die. I mean, who needs it? See, that's where the mindfulness comes in. Just breathing, relaxing, and then entering deeper, deeper, deeper into that space of relaxation. And constantly, because we can control the mind. I don't care if it's the Dalai Lama. No one can control their mind. Eckhart Tolle. The mind is the mind. You can do things, you can, but it goes on. But you can be mindful. You could see it, and it can touch you. As I said earlier, no one could harm you unless you let them. So it'll say you're an asshole. Thanks. I needed to know that. Probably true about me. You know what I mean? It's all this stuff, and don't you do that, and don't you do this. We got to develop, because we're entering into a very, very new universe. Every which way. Humanity. I mean, you want to know who the enlightened ones are? My partner's not here right now, but the enlightened ones are the children. You ever see two children have a fight? And then they walk out of the room holding hands? You know what I mean? How beautiful and everything. Human beings are the most selfish. You take a rock and you throw it at an apple tree, and all these apples will fall. You take a rock and you throw it at a person, and you know what you're going to get. So it's realizing that the greatest thing we could possibly do, if there's one thing, in order to be free of stress, of living a proper life, it's ahimsa. Ahimsa in yoga means not to create suffering for yourself or anyone else. And if it happens, just start becoming more relaxed so that we can go into the mindfulness and the meditation. Then we live a world where what comes up is creative, caring, all the good things. I was in college, and I went skiing, and I fell the first mogul. I never skied again. I trained in India with some amazing teachers, masters. And I can ski down any slope, not as good as my friend there, because that one over there is the best. Raise your hands, you're the best. But he's the expert. But we can ski, and I was afraid. What I'm saying is within us is the basic goodness, is the love. Everything we're searching for is within us. And unless we relax, we can't experience it. So that's why ahimsa is also important. If someone does you harm, wish them well. If someone says, I love you, wonderful. If someone says, I hate you, wonderful. Let them do what they want. If you are holding and treasure life, touch the life. Do it with compassion. Compassion for this world. The world needs so much compassion. That compassion is necessary. That's what we develop. Develop causes in these areas of human conditions, and the mindfulness that's necessary begins with what's happening in our unconscious. The unconscious mind stores everything. So whatever happened to us, if we got beat up as a child, if God forbid, whatever happens, rape, anything, it's a deep impression in the gray matter in your brain. And so we register that there. It's even with the cigarette. You ever see a guy or whatever, and someone's going, I got to give up smoking. I got to give up smoking. The mind saying, you're going to smoke. I need another puff. And you do it. We're slaves to these things that can be worked with. Can be. Everything could be dealt with when we learn and should be in school. We should learn this. So what we will be learning this afternoon is Yoga Nidra. Essentially is the strongest thing. We'll be dealing with those things inside of us. We'll be dealing with meditation. We'll be doing things this afternoon. But the most important thing that happened to me, that I will describe, and where it came from, but it's the unconscious that feeds us. But here I am, the art of mindful relaxation. Lord Stone, Andrew Stone of Parliament, gave my book, humbly I say this truthfully, gave my book to the House of Lords Library, and they thanked them for my book. And all last week, all I can do is open the refrigerator, put vegetables in one hand, and I was pouring maple syrup all over the floor. Mindful, right? So what I'm saying is that I'm really working a lot on the idea of being mindful, of being mindless. You know how you say, well, I dropped that, how awful I'm being. No, oh, look at that. Watch what you do, see it, and then it starts making sense. We have to be aware. And with awareness, with that relaxation, I mean, look how fabulous I look. I'm 76 years old. 76. And then this woman over here, I don't know where she is, she said she was 88. I don't need that. 76. It's not an easy one anyway. So even now, the idea of stopping and breathing and telling yourself, just stopping and breathing. So let's just do a short little Yoga Nidra relaxation, very short. You can do it lying down, you could do it standing up and sitting down at the beginning. So just find a nice comfortable position for a couple of minutes is all we're going to do. Eyes are closed. Find a comfortable position for your hands. Become aware of the whole of your physical body. Your hands, your arms, shoulders, waist, hip, thigh, knee, calf, ankle, right foot, left foot, the back of your body, the head, the whole body. Become aware of the whole of your physical body. Staying with the practice and listening to my voice. Just become aware of heaviness. Feel heaviness in the physical body. Your feet, arms, head, back of the body. Awareness of the body, sitting for Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra is where you are aware of what's going on with you, inside and not without. Withdrawing the consciousness inside. And bring your attention to the center of your chest, to your heart center. The center of love, compassion, the impression of the chest. And feel that you're sending love to the world. May all beings be happy and free from suffering. And come into your heart and visualize a red rose, the petals, the color. Opening your heart to love. Our true nature is love. Now become aware of your breath, in and out, your best friend, your breath. And then move your hands, your feet, and give yourself a hug. And feel that you're sending everyone in this room love, your families. Love is the healer. Love is the healer. Relax and open your eyes and put your hands together and cup your eyes. You can have your eyes closed. And just feel the warmth of your heart. And then gently take your hands off your eyes and smile on your face. Thank you. It was a taster. What's beautiful about this is that the tension and the stress that's in the unconscious needs to be released. And you can do it yourself. You don't need to go to someone to do it. It's like saying to someone, "Oh, I've been going to a therapist for 20 years. I feel great." Well, we can definitely use that, Jack. Jack Cornfield's used therapy and everything. But to me, I like to think that we can really deal with ourselves and work with ourselves. And this is a very important time in the world. We need to move inside to make the outside correct. The world is what it is because people are confused, and there's no reason for it because every single person, including Putin and Trump, have basic goodness. It's just that the tension and the stress and the confusion takes the wisdom away. Wisdom is there, but ignorance is the non-realization that we're all beautiful. Everyone. no matter who. It's just the ignorance of thinking that we're separate. It's really funny because we're really all in it together. And that's where the idea of other, but most important is to develop the inner relationship with ourselves. And it goes on endlessly. There's no ending. It's not like you get there and it's all over. It gets more beautiful and more beautiful and more beautiful inside everyone. It's so beautiful what we are. Unbelievably beautiful. And we just need to let go of the tension and the stress and the ignorance that we're external human beings trying to find our way. We're human beings. So the mental chatter goes on endlessly. It's like our mind is jumping from branch to branch like a monkey, thought to thought. Mindless affects everything we do. So we have to start watching the mindlessness without putting it right or wrong, just that's what it is. See things for what it is without judgment all the time. And when you come from that place, and if you're in a difficult place, I mean, actually in a workshop I've loved, and someone will say they're depressed, and I've said, how fabulous, now you know what depression is. You don't have to become it. You experience things, but we don't have to become it. You know, you're with someone, you're married with them, enjoy the relationship and don't think, we're married. We're married. That means you have to do this and that. Love, care, nourish, see what's there for other people. And we have to relax, because if you're not, no matter what, it'll bring up something that's confusing. Does anybody have any questions yet? Is there anything that we want to maybe reach here? Unless you're all coming to the workshop, because Shad's not letting anybody out. I don't enjoy it unless it's a full room. No, one of my teachers was very, very beautiful, and he's like Dalai Lama, and he went to France to teach, and he flew all the way in, and only one person showed up. And he said, if you can help one person, you've done a lot. So, unfortunately, I'm not as advanced as he is. ¿Qué pasa? Talk louder, stand up. I can't hear. Come forward, I need a hearing aid, I think.
Really?
I'm 76, you got to get everything.
My mama, Honey Joy, who's my mama, she raised me with a beautiful mantra. She said, she always say, little Ricky, my little Ricky Ricardo, positivity rules the road to paradise. And like, if you really let go and you just really experience that, you see that positivity is just acting and just groove, you know, and when you're lost in your thoughts, it's not living true life, you know, and especially if they're negative thoughts, you know, which the separation causes, you know, separate from them, you know, so it's just a separate.
That's actually so true. I mean, it really, really is.
More, you know.
It really is. It's very nice that you had a mama that taught you. But I think I was teaching a class a long time ago, and I think you were there, and people were saying namaste, and you said namago? Namaskar.
because namaste has that dumb male ego stay in power, because the males, when they first woke up, thought that only they could wake up, not their wives.
That's so fun.
You know, so like they were just better than their wives, which is separation, you know.
So now we have to be quiet, and you sit there, because I'm going to wind up coming to your class if I keep it up. Thank you for being here. So, Shad, what time is it? What's happening? I don't have a watch.
Oh, it's right there.
Oh, there it is. So I have until 12, 11, 45. Anyway, let's come together.
I have another question. So you can say that we all can heal ourselves and deal with that unconscious.
I'm definitely,
All right. You say
I
that
got,
we all can heal ourselves and release that unconscious negativity. So can you talk more about that? About how to, as individuals, we can go down and
see, when you're doing yoga nidra, when you're doing the yoga nidra, which we'll do fully, this is a tiny taster. What happens is, as you're doing, thank you for that question, it's great. Yoga Nidra is called pratyahara, withdrawal. In yoga, they have ashtanga, 8 limbs of yoga. The first one is yama niyama, tell the truth, be good, don't steal, behavior, all that nonsense, because we're all crooks. No, I don't mean that. Somewhere along the line. But anyway, then it comes to the postures, asanas. You do the asanas. Then you do the breathing, pranayama. That's all external. Pratyahara, Yoga Nidra, starts drawing the mind inward. So as you go inward, by doing what we'll learn this afternoon, this was a taster, but we do, it's a half hour to 40 minutes. So by doing the thing as you're breathing, you do this, you're breathing, then you're going to be doing visualizations. And you're going to be doing something, and as you move, you're going deeper and deeper, but the mind needs something to grasp. The mind can't exist. It's like fire. It can't exist unless it has wood. It needs something to exist, so it grabs on any thought. That's why you can suddenly think you're nuts. Oh my God, I'm nuts. But you're not, but my mind said it is. We don't know enough to see that the mind is like a naughty child. Naughty child. So when you go in, you're entering the deeper and deeper and deeper, you'll see yourself relax, letting go of that top. That it's only tension, really. It's not necessarily even words. You say, I hate my mother. But it doesn't say, I hate my mother. It's, look what you did to yourself. Ooh, it's in there. You release the tension, and that's gone. We have no way. We clean ourselves externally, but we don't clean internally. The mind has so much to do with the breath. There's so much to learn. And it's worth it because we're totally doing that. So when you go towards the pratyahara, you're going inward, and that's what's called withdrawal. Withdrawal of the consciousness from the external to the internal. And then we do that, and as we go along, that's why through meditation we go to nirvana. Nirvana is the ultimate relaxation. It's beyond, it's like, you're just like, oh my God. Oh, wow, it's so, when we just let go of our own nonsense, it's so beautiful. I mean, you don't know what I'm going through. I mean, I can't tell you how beautiful I am. I mean, we all are. See, I still have that habit, being a Bronx Jew in a church. You know, it brings out that Jesus complex. No, I'm sorry. So essentially, it is a practice. It is doing it with yourself, and I am amazed. My partner does it with children. She does play school. Like I said, children, and then as you go, it's a little deeper because we got those deep samskaras, those deep impressions. And that's why the practice is necessary, because with a real teacher, it helps you go in and relax. You see, the difference between Yoga Nidra and hypnosis, because it almost seems like hypnosis, but it's not, because you do a positive affirmation. The positive affirmation is called sankalpa. What do you want to achieve in life? What do you know you must achieve in life? And that becomes the goal, or the sankalpa. And so when you're reaching toward, you just want to be an instrument of truth, be a peaceful person, help others, whatever the goodness in your heart. You could even use it, to be honest, and I don't like saying it, but you can. You can even use it if you're smoking cigarettes and you're saying, but you don't want to say no, don't smoke. You don't want dose. But I can let this go. Whatever it is that you're implanting in there, you should have much stronger things, but you know, if you're teaching a class and people need that, you can teach it in that way. But ultimately, Yoga Nidra is there to direct your life. Because you have to direct your life. What do you want in life? You don't want to say that, well, I want to do this, and you'll know, because as you go deeper in yourself, the wisdom is there. We just cover it up. So the Yoga Nidra gets you into the wisdom in yourself. Every teacher outside is only worth how much they help you go into your own guru. If someone's being a guru to you, you have to ask them when it's over. Meaning you don't let go, you honor your mother, your father, but you still move house. In the same way, the greatest thing is what Ramana Maharshi said. Someone said, what about others? He said, there are no others. Here we are. There's only one in this room. It's beautiful here. I must be doing good, huh? So let's end it here, I think. And if there's anybody who wants to say anything, if there's anything that, you know, I just feel like we can spend the rest of the day here because it's so valuable. That's the thing. It's so valuable. If not with me, find someone lesser, and you'll learn from them. And mind you, I honest and truly sit in the most humble place because the only truth is being humble. Because when it gets so beautiful, and it will, as you do it, it's very humbling. Very humbling. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's kicking me out. Do you see, well, he does it well.
All right, we're going to take an offering for unity now. I do think it's worthy to point out, the rest of the family is on vacation, so Santisha, Jack, Norma, Mike, everyone's out of town. I've been holding down the fort with Erna and the staff here, and I thought I did a pretty good job until we had a giant flood come out of the ceiling this week, only to find out that there is a basketball-sized hole in the roof where a raccoon dug in and made nest in our ceiling. So that's going to cost a little bit of money to fix this week. So if you don't tell Jack and Santisha, we could just get enough to cover it. Nobody has to know, all right? No, but that is a real thing. That really did happen. We put a little eviction notice with a little sign next to the hole, hoping that the raccoon would get the message. All right, well, let's take our offerings into our hands. I'm going to bless them with this statement. I'll say it first, and then you can join me. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. Together, please. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And to Erna, once again, with her beautiful music.
So this song is a song written by a friend of mine from Las Vegas. Her name is Michelle Roll. She's an amazing, beautiful person. And so I wanted to share it with you all because it's the song that really touched me. So here it is.
My heart beats with you. These hands will lift you up when you're down. My eyes see through your fears. These arms will always long to hold you near. If I could bring you peace, if I could live in joy, then I would have learned everything that I have come to learn and feel the love coming back in return. That's why I'm here. That's why I came to be the light, to feel the love. That's why I'm here. That's why I came to play along and sing this song. That's why I am here. If life is give and take, we will receive the love we give without restraint. So I'll leave doesn't always mean we know why we're here, how to keep it simple with loving and giving. If I could bring you peace, if I could live in joy, then I would have learned everything that I have come to learn and feel the love coming back in return. That's why I'm here. That's why I came to be the light, to feel the love. That's why I'm here. That's why I came to play along and sing this song. That's why I am here. That's why I'm here. That's why I came to be alive, to feel your love. That's why I'm here. That's why I came to play along and sing this song. That's why I am. That's why I am. That's why I am here.
She sings as pretty as a bird. I had to say that because Michelle used to always say that. Erna, you sing as pretty as a bird. So, a little shout out to Uni of Las Vegas there. All right, well, thank you for joining us. We are going to have CDs of this service and DVDs available next door in the bookstore. We also have a gift shop in there if you're looking for any items along those lines. And we're going to have fellowship and tea and cookies and fun over here in the fellowship hall afterwards. I'll be over here if you want to complain about anything. That's what usually happens. And I love it. I love it. Can't get enough of it. People just lining up. And we'll also have Ed Shapiro out in the lobby. He'll be out there. You can sign up for his workshop, so you could do that on your way out. Grab a book, grab a CD, have a good time. Why don't we all face the center aisle and hold hands and have our closing song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be.
Thank you.